What's up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. It's Friday, you made it to the weekend, let's kick things off right with some stories out of r/deciding to be better. So, let's get to it. Our first post is from user NagsTA. My anxiety/depression is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Okay, well, it's not that simple, but hear me out. Over a year ago, I had my first series of bad panic attacks. They came out of nowhere and instantly took over my life. It was as if all the color was drained from my world and I was left in a gray wasteland. I started believing that the only way out of this agony was suicide. My life was terrifying all of a sudden. I couldn't imagine a future where I was myself again. And I thought that my happiness was gone forever. It was a nightmare, as I'm sure you all understand. But after a long year and a half, I'm finally learning how to live with it. Color has come back into my world, and I've come to learn that I'm a lot tougher than I thought. Every now and then, I think back to when I was imagining my future and the endless suffering that I thought it would be, and realize that I was wrong. Happiness is a possibility, and my life isn't constant stress and suffering. If you told me that back then, I wouldn't have believed you in a million years. So, to all the people who can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, please trust me. I know you can't see it now, but it is possible for you to get through this and bring the color back into your life. It's going to take a lot of hard work and patience, but once you're on the other side, you'll see that you can take on anything, and you'll be a better person for it. Anxiety and depression are terrifying and awful, but looking back on it now, I consider it a blessing. I now know more about myself as a person. If anyone ever wants to talk more about this, please hit me up. Well, OP, short and succinct, but very on point. It's really amazing how when you're in the middle of those things, they can just consume all your forward thinking, that they can just define everything that you think is going to happen in your future, when in reality, you don't know what's going to happen from one second to the next. Life is constantly changing. Life is constantly moving forward and evolving and becoming something different. The only way you're never going to see it is if you do opt for that final solution, for that easy way out. But there is always a hope. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you so much for sharing this, and I'm so glad to see that you're taking something that was so horrible for you and using it as a means by which to help lift others up. That's really admirable of you, and I really respect that. Wherever you're at right now, I truly do wish you the best. Our next post is from user The Wolfpack. 30 days and what I've learned/earned. Today was my 30th straight day of working out. A bit of backstory. About 6-ish months ago, I got fired from a job due to being depressed and not wanting to get out of bed. That's no excuse, but it's what happened. My depression led to what I'd consider to be my rock bottom. I was binge eating just to feel anything other than sad. I got evicted and moved back into my parents' house. So, for 4 months, I just moped around feeling sorry for myself. Then, I'm not sure what happened, but something clicked in my brain. You're 26, overweight, self-esteem issue, no job, living with your parents. You're a loser. Stop feeling sorry for yourself because no one else is. Take care of your crap and get it together. That was July 25th. That spark of motivation kicked me into gear. I worked out that night for the first time since high school, and I'm finally eating right. What I've learned? First, motivation fades, discipline is forever. Motivation is a nice little Kickstarter, but you can't rely on that to keep getting you out of bed and kicking the day's butt. You have to be disciplined. The ability to force yourself to do the things you don't want to mentally do is a major key to success. Second, confidence and self-esteem 100% improve with exercise. I can tell you how long it's been since I looked in the mirror and smiled. Approximately 45 minutes. I was admiring the muscles that I've been gaining. Weird, I know. But I used to look in the mirror and just feel despair. What I've earned? So far? I'm not 100%, but I've gained a sense of self-worth, some muscle, discipline, and a yearning for improvement. I haven't weighed myself once since I started because I don't want this journey to be defined by a number. I want it to be defined by my ability to change for the better. My next step? I started learning Spanish 3 days ago. Today was my 3rd straight day, 40 plus minutes each session. Then tomorrow, I'm going to start teaching myself how to code. I created a Twitter account to post updates and to keep me honest to the cause. I'm still jobless, but I have a few interviews coming up. Hope my journey so far helps others feel inspired. I'll provide updates every 30 days. See y'all on day 60. OP, you touch on something profound here, in that motivation really is only temporary. It's discipline that carries you through. You know, you can get a bad health diagnosis and use that as a motivator to start eating right, but your health isn't going to change unless you discipline yourself past that motivation to keep eating right. Just a small example. Discipline is key to everything. Like you said, motivation is a great Kickstarter, but it's discipline that wins the day. And that's really what it comes down to. But more so than that is that you broke out of that self-pitying mold of woe is me, I'm a loser, I'm all these other things, and kicked yourself into gear to become someone better. You just prove that if you struggle with depression, if you struggle with anxiety or anything like that, you can overcome it. It's not easy, but it is doable. There is a hope for a better tomorrow. And it sounds like you are just dedicated to making your life the best it can be, which honestly, props to you for that. Thank you so much for sharing this post, and wherever you're at right now, I do wish you the best and really hope you're continuing on this path. Our next post is from user Aaron Panzarella, but first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit Happy. We can all become the best version of ourselves. Being the best version of yourself isn't always easy. We've built up a lot of habits over the years that kept us small. We were taught at a young age that if we're not perfect, we're not good enough. It's not easy to get out of this thinking, but it is possible and it will change your life like it did for me. Growing up, my life wasn't easy. I had a lot of situations surrounded by abandonment and loss, and it taught me that I wasn't deserving of consistency. I wasn't deserving of love. I became a false perfectionist. I would put on a fake show of being so put together, but inside, I was slowly killing myself, literally. It took a really long time for me to understand that I am worthy. But once I did, everything changed. I wish I could flip a switch for you all and show you that you are in fact worthy of love and a good life, but that's not how it works. It's a lot more complex than that, but it's also quite simple. We are all deserving of love. And it's not about getting more, but tearing the stuff around us that built up barriers to love. The love is all around, always. But we can't always see it. If you can't see yourself as you are, which is worthy of goodness and perfect with your humanness, you will never be able to live a life of inner peace. It sounds like a daunting task, but it's also really beautiful because everything we need truly comes within. Just a few years ago, I was sabotaging every relationship I had, starving myself and addicted to Adderall. I didn't love myself at all, and I definitely didn't like myself. I didn't think I deserved good things, so I acted in a way that reflected that. Took drugs, chose to surround myself with people who were wrong for me, and picked fights with the people who actually loved me. It took a lot of time to separate from the thoughts, but noticing them was the biggest step. Noticing I am not my thoughts really changed everything for me. I started to notice them and counteract them when they came in, saying, I know I think this, but it's not truth. I did that a lot in the beginning. I read a lot of books, I still do, and started taking courses for self-development. I started a consistent meditation practice and doing yoga, but these all came later. The habits started to build on top of each other over time, but in the beginning, it really was small steps each day. 5 to 10 minutes of meditation or reading, a few moments of noticing my thoughts in one day. That really kickstarted this whole journey. We are completely capable of being the best versions of ourselves. It's a forever journey, but totally worth it. Life will transform in ways you couldn't even imagine if you take one step today. If you keep doing one small thing every day, it will change your life. It changed mine. And I know that if I can do it, anyone can. I promise. Sending you all love. OP, as always, you do just kind of hit the nail on the head. I really do enjoy any time I see that you've posted something because it just kind of hits home for me and I'm sure for a lot of other people. And you just go on to continue to prove what was being said in the first posts here, in that you can choose to be better. You don't need to stay stuck in a rut. Life doesn't have to be this miserable thing. You can define what you want your life to be. You did it, and like you said, if you can do it, anyone can. As always, thank you so much for opening up about part of your life, for sharing this story, and really, I hope you're doing well. Please keep posting, because I really love reading your stuff. Our next post is from user Star Power. I am learning to enjoy my life more and more each day. I get in bad slumps. I often avoid people, opportunities, and procrastinate. I also get very negative, unmotivated, and lazy, which leads me to neglecting to feed, bathe, or take care of myself. Since September, I felt really depressed and really hopeless. This is changing. I went to a job interview today for a second job. It went perfectly, and I felt so confident walking away that I made a good impression. I went home and took a shower and made a warm tea, which set me in a great mood. I've had some goals for a while of wanting to waste less, so I've been buying soap/shampoo/conditioner bars, and they make me feel really amazing. I've also been less afraid about talking to people, and I'm actually excited to challenge myself and hang out with people. I honestly didn't think I would be able to be social and engaged in my life and feel good about it until now. I owe a lot of this to my boyfriend, who has inspired me immensely to see life more positively, but I also owe this to myself for taking action, going to therapy, opening up, and going back out into the world again. It really doesn't take much to start steering your life into a positive course. Just like you prove, OP, even when you're in those bad slumps, there's always a path forward. And challenge yourself and your perception of what your life is like in order to actually make positive improvements. It sounds like things are going great for you, and thank you so much for sharing the story, and wherever you're at, I really do wish you the best right now. That was r/deciding to be better, and if you want more stories of people making changes in their lives for the better, then go ahead and check out that playlist link in the description below. Also, feel free to check out the channel on Twitter and Instagram. Would love to chat with you there. Now you guys go out there, have a great weekend. I will see you all on Monday. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.